It's Sctv with Ethan Humble, Sophie Reese, Will Kopp, Caleb Geer, Sam Hying, Aaron Wilkins, and Katie Byrne.
Good evening, and welcome back to Sctv, Simpson College's first student-run, award-winning weekly newscast. I'm Ethan Humble.
And I'm Sophie Reese. Thanks for joining us.
We have breaking news from the Student Government Association last week.
Our Katie Burns attended the meeting anticipating some big news and relayed some key information over to Ethan.
The Student Government Association announced Wednesday that Aleah Casebeer, sophomore class president, has resigned from her position. SGA then appointed Senator Ileana Murphy as the new class president at the meeting. Aleah also serves as an SC leader, a mentor for first-year students, and there was an event specifically held for Simpson's first years yesterday.
Here's our Joe Lamb with more from Majorpalooza.
This week, the Majors and Minors Fair took place in Hubbell Hall, where over 300 students attended to declare their majors.
Well, I think they're primarily benefits because we have a lot of first-year students who are ready to declare a major, and they're not quite sure what the process is to declare a major. And we also have students who are ready to declare majors but may not know who the faculty are in that particular department that they're going to declare a major in that would be open to advising or available to advise. And so having something like Majorpalooza where all first-year students can come together and they have an opportunity to meet with faculty who represent different departments and get feedback from them and get ideas about how to move forward, I think it alleviates some of that stress and anxiety.
I think it's important because it allows you to see, the path you need to take in order to achieve that major. So the classes you need to take, maybe the activities you need to be in. It just helps you plan out your 4-year degree in a better way.
I definitely think there's a little bit of pressure to declare a major, especially as it's like Majorpalooza and everyone is kind of there to declare a major. But a lot of my professors have kind of encouraged me to explore more and see what's out there before I declare.
In terms of drawbacks, I really can't think of any drawbacks because we're not requiring students to declare a major today. And I think there are some first-year students who might be nervous about, I'm not ready to declare a major. But today is not a day that they are going to be required to declare a major in any way. This is just an opportunity for them to learn more. And if they aren't ready to declare a major, they can still stick with their first-year Foundations 1 faculty advisor and continue to work with them through that process of getting to the point where they're ready to declare a major.
For SCTV, I'm Joe Lamb.
It's nice that students aren't forced to declare right at the event, though it's a good chance for those who are ready to.
I have certainly changed my career course a few times since coming to Simpson, so first-year Ethan would have needed to go.
We did a story last year about first-year students' frustrations with a diversity, equity, and inclusion-focused Foundations 2 course. It serves as another required semester of class to Simpson's general education.
Since last year, students are now required to only attend 3 days of class each week, rather than the 4 days first years had last year. We sent our Will Kopp to investigate how this new bunch of first years feel about the class.
With a new semester starting, first years are embarking on their second semester of Foundations. Let's go see how they feel about it.
I think it's honestly would probably be a little easier compared to more of a gen ed class and stuff, but I honestly wouldn't mind taking another gen ed class over Foundations. I feel like it could benefit me maybe a little bit more in a more specific area rather than talking so broadly about topics and Foundations. But
I like the 3-day, but I think it could have been organized a little bit better, having 2 days back to back and then having a break and then 1 day and then another break. It seems almost redundant.
I'm not a big fan of how some of the things that are presented to you are kind of presented to you in a way that make you think a certain way, and if you think anything else you're wrong and stuff like that. So some of it's pretty opinionated, and if you have wrong opinions then you're just wrong.
It's kind of odd to me. My first semester it was a much harder Foundations class. I had to write much longer papers and many more of them, and this semester it's been way easier compared to last year, so it's a little, it's kind of weird with that.
This semester's Foundations it's a different atmosphere. I think one thing that's pretty nice is having new faces in the class, different student classmates from the freshman class, so you meet new people and you're not with the same people that you were in your first semester.
I find the learning to write pretty beneficial, just like how they teach you to write for college and how professors will expect papers to be written for college. I really liked that.
Coming into college, it was a big change with workload and things like that, and how to manage time. And so in foundations, sometimes we did talk about time management and we talked about a lot of different resources and ways to improve our academic experience and adapting to a different, workload and how to handle all that stress. But
Foundations has experienced a schedule change this year, dropping from 4 days a week to just 3. For most first years, this leaves them with a positive outlook on the rest of the semester. With Sctv, I'm Will Kopp.
Sounds like there are both benefits and drawbacks in the students' eyes. Fair enough.
Well, Ethan, it's the season of love, and Valentine's Day was yesterday.
He did our Valentine's Day video last year, so we sent our Caleb Geer to discuss the holiday and what it means to the Simpson community.
I'm back at it again, covering Valentine's Day for year number 2, and this year I ventured across campus to consult not only students but faculty as well about what they thought love was.
Hannah,
Yeah.
do you believe in love?
Yes, I do believe in love.
Why do you believe in love?
I don't know. Can I start over? I just wanted to be with someone and be able to make memories with someone and not feel judged.
I guess it's really just important to me as a person. It's one of my favorite things to do is love other people.
It can be motivational, inspiring. It just depends on as long as it's good love, it's not abusive. Yeah.
The one, the only, the video editor of Sctv himself, Zach Ambrose. So to start, Mr. Ambrose, do you believe in love?
No.
Why do you not believe in love?
It's a sham. It's to sell Christmas cards or Hallmark cards.
It depends on if you find the right person. So I think love is patient.
It's not just the physical, lovey-dovey feeling. I think love is a physical thing that you can feel, seeing just the sacrifices.
That everybody has something or someone that draws them in a way that kind of affects and changes them and what they do and how they do things and what they look at and how they look at things.
I believe in love in every form, I believe people can love one another platonically and also in a more romantic way. My argument is that we don't need a day for that. We should just be able to do that whenever it feels comfortable.
Everybody says I love you all the time to everybody, whether it's a significant other or your family or a parent or something like that. And it truly means something because you do love them and you want the best for them and you want them to be happy.
I think it's a wonderful thing that two people can share with one another. I think there can be multiple types of love, platonic, romantic, any of the sorts.
For the holiday of love, everybody seems to have those special plans.
I work at a fine dining restaurant and my manager actually offered to buy us a $400 meal for free tonight. So that's what we're doing.
Ethan Brown is covering my shift for me so I can go.
That's romance.
We're gonna do some nice adult things, probably do some dinner. Go out for dinner tonight. Do some little Valentine's Day gift giving. And then do what every Simpson College student does on Valentine's Day, which is go home and try to find the motivation to do the copious amounts of schoolwork that we have, as well as basic living things such as laundry and dishes.
Last year, it was Corbin and I's first date on Valentine's Day, and he took me to Pfieffer. So we're going back to Pfieffer in about a half hour. And I think he got me flowers, and that's about it.
I'm actually on duty, so I'm going to be eating dark chocolate covered strawberries by myself while watching rom-coms.
I'm gonna have dinner with my gals tonight after practice.
Hang out with my mom.
That's fair.
That's the only love you'll get at this age.
Just take my girlfriend out to get some ice cream and maybe dinner if we can squeeze it in somehow, and that's really it.
For Sctv, Caleb Geer.
Sounds like Valentine's Day is being celebrated in a number of different ways. Such a fun holiday.
However, Valentine's Day wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for everyone.
Our Joel Sampson has been taking the news of Pfieffer being renovated pretty hard, and he wrote his own love letter to the dining hall.
Dear Pfieffer, during the season of love, my heart breaks for you. Let's start with sorry. Sorry for everything. We both know what's next. We both know they're taking you away. They will burn you to the ground and stomp on your ashes. Why are they so filled with hate, Pfieffer? Why do they wish to end you so badly? Their agenda is to put you in the history books. They want you gone. They want you replaced. Thank you for everything you've done for this campus, community, and its people. You fed the mouths of thousands and never asked for anything in return. No matter the situation, you were there. Sure, the food wasn't always the prettiest or the tastiest, but it consistently got the job done. With one swipe of a plastic barcode, students and faculty alike have been invited to a buffet unlike any other. Where else can you eat a cheeseburger with a side of Lucky Charms at 8:37 p.m. on a Wednesday in December? The truth is, they never deserved you. You were the pinnacle of a full stomach until a knockoff Subway and McDonald's stole your shine. Flex dollars made boards look like chump change. It was never your fault. It was just a sign of the times. As the lines for sub connection extend to the moon during lunch hour, your beautiful waffle maker waits patiently. Your cottage cheese lays dormant. Your pasta cries for help. The voices of hate are too loud to hear those of appreciation. There is a silent majority in America, and it's those who love Pfieffer Dining Hall. Pfieffer supporters swipe in every day, ready to indulge in the spoils you offer. They're ready to eat chicken patties and drink bagged milk like there's no tomorrow. Pfieffer supporters are forever thankful for the conversations that happen around those circle tables. Discussion and debate is encouraged at the Pfieffer tables. Simpson College's future world changers ate at those tables. Yet they still cry for your downfall. In every discussion, meeting, debate, or construction plan, the goal is clear: to terminate Pfieffer for good. It's too late to stop them. Their decision has been made, and they will get to work as soon as they possibly can. When you're gone, they will realize their mistake. They will understand the consequences of their actions. They will regret the construction when they're craving cinnamon toast crunch on a Tuesday afternoon. Those brick walls, inconveniently placed support beams and TVs that are never on will be missed dearly. Your sense of safety will be gone with the wind. When the dust finally settles, we can only hope they remember you. You leave behind an unmatched legacy. You leave behind memories and meals no other Simpson dining service will be able to replicate. This is our last Valentine's Day together. It's important you know the love many have for you. When you go, I hope it's painless and peaceful, just like you deserve. Forgive them, Pfieffer. They do not know what they've done.
If enjoying Pfieffer makes me a part of the silent majority, consider me silent, Sophie, for the first time in my life. I feel for those who will be missing Pfieffer in the coming years.
Thankfully, there is one major competition we won't have to forecast about. It's happening right here this year.
That's right, Sophie. Sunday's ARC Competitive Cheer and Dance Championships are only hosted by Simpson once every 9 years. Our Sam Hying has a preview before Sunday's competition.
We hope to shoot for first. First conference is invitational is a big moment for us because it's where we actually get to show what we can actually do. You don't get to see the cheerleaders go do a lot of events or the dance team, so it'd be a great moment for the students to go and see they're part of the athletics department besides basketball, football, softball, baseball. See another side of the athletics department than what they normally see. We're such a small team with 8 people, so it was very hard for us to put together a 2.5-minute routine with 8 people, but I think we have a good shot at, showing up and showing what we got with the 8 people that we got, and we're such a great team and we bonded so good together that I feel like we got this.
So our conference event is the only time that we compete against all of the teams in the conference, which is super cool. Not all of them go to state, not all of them are from Iowa, and not all of them go to the same nationals as us. So it's cool to see kind of how we rank against the rest of our conference teams, since that's important for all the other sports too. And it's really awesome this year since it's at home. So we have kind of the home court advantage, and we can see what it's like on our own floor. It rotates the conference alphabetically, so we just happen to get it every so often when it comes to us, and it's nice that we have the new gym floor and kind of show that off. It's a really fun event, and it's very different than every other sporting event. It's a cool experience, and it's nice that it's dance and cheer, so it's kind of a mix of a bunch of different things, and a lot of people don't really understand dance or cheer, and you don't really have to. It's just fun to come and watch, come and see what other teams do, because you see us at basketball games, you see cheer at basketball and football, and it's cool to see us in competition mode. It's a lot different. Hair, makeup, everything like that. Competitive mode is on, and then to see how our dances compare to everybody else's, because it's so different. We practice 3 times a week, and we also do our strength and conditioning program, which is awesome. They're using it to kind of not necessarily build like a typical strength and conditioning, building muscle, stuff like that, but they're using it to make us stronger dancers, which is great. And then our practices have been a lot of like group work, watch a partner, critique, make sure that we're all doing things the same. We watch film just like every other sport to make sure that we all look uniform. We break it down second by second. And we've just been really, really working hard and making sure that we've made all those corrections, doing parts over and over and over to make sure we all look exactly the same. This year they're changing it, so we have an overall conference champion, which is new. Usually we place top 3 in every dance. Because pom and jazz are the 2 most technical, they're taking those 2 scores, averaging them, and whoever has the highest average becomes the conference champion. It's a fun time. Dance competitions are fun. It's a pretty short one compared to all of the rest of the ones we do, and it's a very high energy event, and the more the crowd gets into it, the more they get out of it, and the more we get out of it, the better we do. And obviously we want to do really well, and we love to see people that we know in the audience. It makes us do so much better and feel so much more confident.
I'm super excited to go and cheer you on, Sophie.
Thanks, Ethan. In other sports, our men's basketball team has been slipping very hard lately, and the Storm are nearly on the fringes of the ARC postseason.
We sent our Aaron Wilkins to get highlights last Wednesday in what was essentially a do-or-die game for the men.
The 11-9 Storm took on the 8-13 Beavers last Wednesday. The Storm offense was nearly impossible to stop this night, and they started off early from this pass from Andrew McKern to Chris Hans for an easy 2-point layup. Here's Andrew Gibbs, one of many and one layups that he showcased tonight. He was nearly unstoppable in the lane. Some great ball movement from the Storm with a pass from Hans to Williamson to Caden Remeyer for the 3. Pro tip, if you're ever playing Easton Darling, never give him too much room, else he'll put in a deep 3 like he does right here. Andrew Curran showed off his mid-range talent right here with this 15-foot jump shot. Not only was Gibb making it happen in the lane, but he's making it happen beyond the arc with his 3-point bucket. Remeyer may be a 6'6" forward, but he sure can shoot with another 3-point basket from him. At halftime, the Storm had a demanding lead of 46-29. Curran started off hot in the second half, showing off that he is one of the best mid-range shooters in the ARC. Again, Curran proves his case with this 15-foot fadeaway on the out-of-bounds play. Getting some action down low is Lincoln Swanson, sending his defender flying and getting an easy layup. Levi Gurwell may not be the biggest on the court, but he makes the Beavers look silly right here with this and one bucket. The crowd's liking it and his teammates are liking it too. Curran could not miss with his mid-range jump shots as he puts another one in right here. Not only does Gibb pump fake me out, but he pump fakes his defender and gets another and one, and he knows he is on fire. Storm took the W with a dominating performance, 87-62.
What a great way to get back in the win column. But the women would also get a chance at beating the Beavers.
They played just before the men, and Aaron also has your highlights from their game.
The 11-10 Storm took on the 6-15 Buena Vista Beavers in a pretty high-scoring game. The women have been playing pretty solid recently. Let's see how they did last Wednesday. Cassie Nash had a pretty incredible game with most of her points coming from easy layups. The unselfish passing from the Storm tonight led to many buckets, with this pass from Dylan Holland to Molly Lutmer for the 3. Right here, I have Anna Wanek dribbling in, finding some room, and taking a 15-foot pull-up jump shot. Again, we have Wanek taking her defender all the way to the hoop, putting a nice move on her, putting in the easy bucket. Again, we see great ball movement from the Storm, and who else to take this 3 but Wanek, and she knocks it down. At halftime, the Storm had 51 points, but were only up by 11 to Buena Vista's 40. Let's take a look at what Jake Bren has to say about the half.
Yeah, so it's 51-40 at the half. I think I'm liking Simpson live spread minus 15 and a half. I think they kind of took control at the end of the second quarter and should be able to pull away in the second. Looked really good. But of course, if you have a problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. And no student athletes are allowed to bet. None.
You heard it from Mr. Bren, folks. No betting for your student athlete. But let's get this second half started with a good-looking three-point shot from Haley Rasmussen. The Storm were hot from the three-point line as Cash dribbles in, baits Wanek's defender in, and kicks it out for the 3. Going into the fourth quarter, everyone's question was, will the Storm hit 100 points? Things were looking promising as Lutmer takes a kick-out 3 and knocks it down to put the Storm beyond the 90-point mark with a little less than 5 minutes left. Here we got Shania Temple cutting to the basket and bowling her defender down low for an easy layup. After Macy M. Garton got fouled, she puts in both of her free throws to put the Storm at 98 points, just one bucket away from 100. Unfortunately, the Storm could not find the basket with a minute left in the game, but they had a dominating win of 98-71.
Cassie Nash would set the all-time steals record during the game as well. Good work out there.
It was the women's gymnastics team first time competing at home as a program on Saturday against Greenville.
The men's team joined in to make the double duel a must-watch event. Our Katie Burns has the highlights.
Simpson men's and women's gymnastics faced their first home debut this past weekend against Greenville. Simpson women's opened the day on vault with Brooklyn Morgan, Kaylin Talley, and Winter Pula all scoring a 9.5 to share the event title with Greenville's Ellery Gilmer. Pula earned a second podium finish during Simpson's next rotation, placing second on bars with a program record of 9.150. On beam, Bailey Tessina was just 0.1 behind Greenville's Amara Nelson and Molly Froman, who tied for first at a 9.60. Emma Talbert tied Greenville's Rachel Miller for the top scorer on floor with a 9.550 from the anchor spot. Avery Ingram won her third all-around title to lead the Simpson College women's gymnastics team in its inaugural home competition. On the men's side, Michelangelo Vianney won the all-around competition. Alex Catchpool claimed the first on parallel bars, and the gymnastics team registered a season best of 359.20. Vianney became the first gymnast in program history to win an all-around title with a score of 71.350. Catchpool earned a 12.7 on parallel bars to become Simpson's first individual event winner of the season. Simpson also registered season best on floor and vault, outscoring the Panthers by just under a point on floor for the team's first win in the event. Camden Bontempo and Sterling Pariza led the way with a 13.1, which tied the second place overall and is the highest floor mark by any Simpson gymnast this year. And the men's lost by 14.15. On the women's side, they lost by 2.175 points. For SCTV, I'm Katie Burns.
While it's too bad the teams couldn't come away with wins, there were some stellar individual performances.
Elsewhere, men's wrestling fell to Central 39-9 in Pella on Thursday. Dylan McChesney recorded his 45th career pin.
Spencer Moon made history again by breaking the conference's indoor 5K record in Brookings, South Dakota. He took second overall with his time of 14 minutes and 7 seconds.
Overall, the men's track and field team took third of the 10 teams at the Darren Young Invitational at Grinnell. The women took 7th out of 9.
The women's basketball team kept rolling against Dubuque Saturday, winning 79-67. The men lost to the Spartans 75-58. Both teams are in Lincoln, competing against Nebraska Wesleyan this evening.
Lastly, Ethan and his teammates lost both of their opening matches 8-1 and 9-0 against Principia College and Illinois Wesleyan, respectively. Javier Robles claimed the team's only win on the day.
It was a tough day.
That's going to be all from us here tonight.
We humbly thank you for your time. We'll be back next week. Until then, you stay classy, Simpson.